Welcome to the dumbest smart guy podcast on the planet. This is the Central Unintelligence Podcast. Oh, baby. Welcome back, everybody, to another fine episode. I should start off with the Star Wars theme, and this should be CUP, Episode 2, Attack of the Drones. Damn, Disney already sued us. Shit, how did they do that? We haven't even published this yet, and we already got the letter in the mail.
No, that was Star Guys, the
Star Dudes.
starring, or
Space
rather
guys.
directed by George
R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm Josh. He's Adam. And today we're going to talk about the drones again, because there's more further developments and theories happening. But before we do that, if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us at Game Rage Magazine on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can follow us at Game Rage Mag on Twitter/X. You can go to substack.com/@Game Rage Magazine to follow us there. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram, YouTube, and all the other fucking things. And you can follow him on Substack as well at All Gas No Trash Official. All right, so drones. I feel like that Ancient Aliens guy.
Aliens.
Drones, all right? Everybody's been fucking riding the alien train. They're fucking definitely not aliens, all right? Let's just fucking get that out of the way. There's no fucking way these are aliens.
It's an imminent threat from a foreign country, according to.
So the new theories are, and I mean, this kind of does lend some credence to it a little bit, but the current theory is that the drones are obviously, it's us, and we're looking for something. And what we're looking for is a nuclear device. Now, I will say that there are 6 nuclear warheads that went missing and we never found them. Like, they just never were found. That was like documented. It's been like around. So, sure, maybe they were lost and one day will be reused for some sort of false flag terrorism attack to do against ourselves. I don't know. But,
All right.
Yeah.
So what you're spelling out for us is you're saying that they're looking for a nuclear signature for a possible nuclear device that is maybe briefcase size.
Briefcase, a suitcase nuke, maybe even a dirty bomb, which wouldn't be maybe necessarily fully nuclear, but it would be low megaton or a low yield explosion that just would expose radiation to the area. So that's partially probably what they're looking for. Now, what's very interesting about that is there are these several websites that track the ambient radiation in just throughout the world. And so on the East Coast, in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Washington, D.C., fucking Maryland area, their levels are all much higher than normal background radiation. Now, it could be because of the simple fact that these drones, if they are carrying some sort of a device to detect nuclear radiation or to detect whatever the signature is, tritium is, I think it's tritium is one of the things that's in all like nuclear devices, and that's kind of like how they like detect it, because you can't like shield it or anything. That's how you can detect like, oh, that there's something here. And I think you have to have that in whatever device you are using to detect it, because it like reacts to it or something like that. So that's kind of like my base understanding of it. Now, that could explain why the radiation's so higher than background, is because if you have all these drones carrying a little piece of that around them and they're just roaming around through the air, yeah, it's going to be, ambient radiation is going to be fucking spreading throughout temporarily. So that could be the reason for the spike. Or it could be that there's some shit there and they're like, fuck guys, we gotta find whatever Al-Qaeda fucking ISIS pocket nuke this is before they detonate this.
I don't know, man. It's part of me is thinking that it's Master Splinter and the Ninja Turtles.
Very well could be,
especially because it's in New York and New Jersey.
I mean, the secrets of the ooze, man. I mean, the ooze is radioactive, so that is very much a high plausibility, scenario that really, I mean, probably would be the best case scenario. As a matter of fact, if we had some mutant Ninja Turtles of the teenage age bracket fighting crime in New York and New Jersey, it's kind of what we need right now, I think. It's a real morale boost story. But outside of that, The counter to that is that we do have multiple aircraft in our actual inventory. That there are actual aircraft in our thing. They're generally on the P-8 Poseidons, the aircraft that has super multitudes of advanced arrays to detect this shit. And they've put those up before to do, checks like this. They fly it over like the Super Bowl every year just to sniff out if there's anything, that could be, that's a great target.
Fucking massive
casualty event that if you took out the Super Bowl with a pocket nuke,
it's like 100,000 people.
Oh yeah, you're killing everybody. So I mean, that would theoretically be what we would use. Now, if it's something that they have no idea where it could be and you needed to check a massive area or multiple areas, then okay, that kind of makes sense as to why now there's all these drones. You could send 40 drones to check out a whole city, and they could be snipping around and looking, fidget fucking around all around, check a large area in a short amount of time. So I do lend some credence to this theory. I definitely am fully convinced that the government is behind it for sure. With the continued denials and general apathy of the federal government, there was some dickhead on TikTok that was talking about this, and he was like, "Oh, I've been in the Air Force, and let me tell you something. There ain't nothing that flies in our airspace that we don't know about, blah, blah, blah." And I said, there would be some Chinese balloons that would be disagreeing with you, because those did sneak up on us like a motherfucker and came in undetected. So that's not necessarily true that we have full control over our entire airspace. So while the theory that it's another foreign nation doing this, I would say is very slim, but yes, we likely do know what's going on. Also, if you watch the videos of these things that people get the close-ups of them, they all have all of the compliance for FAA drone operations at night. They all have the red and green lights. They all have at least one visible strobe light or white light that is able to be seen from 3 nautical miles away, which that's the requirement. So that's why you have all these people seeing all these fucking things, is because they need to remain visible for at least 3 miles. So they seem to be operating within the parameters of normal FAA approved drone operations. Now, if it's the government doing it and they're not, it's a need to know deal, and you're not telling the FAA, hey, like, we're not telling you that we're doing this shit, but we're going to be doing it. And they're just going to keep it on the down low and just do their normal thing to make it look like this is some shit we don't know what it is. That's plausible too. And yes, it's likely a very close-knit circle of people who know what's really going on, which is why it's probably mainly high-ranking individuals, so there's probably not a lot of leaks going to be coming out about this. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So in the midst of all this, as in many cases of things happening between class warfare.
Yeah, correct.
Or so people speculate.
Yeah.
Do you think it's coincidental that this shit's going on when we have the Luigi Mangione shit going on?
Okay, so personally, I don't think this is related at all. Because this stuff was happening like weeks prior to that shooting happening. This issue's been going on for like 8 weeks now. So this had been happening well before the Luigi Mangione fucking shooting. So maybe it's been an uptick as of late because of that, to add a further distraction to eat the news cycle. Because now these things were seen flying just the other day over the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And again, that's a great soft target to if you had a pocket nuke let's put one at the Capitol. What a symbolic fucking destruction that would be.
Wipe out all our congressmen.
Yeah, if you could do like that show Designated Survivor. You fucking wipe out the cabinet, the president, and what happens? It goes down to fucking some secretary of nonsense who's getting the one in charge. And then you really fuck our whole continuity of government at that point. So that's a great target. Also, just dumping one in a heavily populated city, New Jersey, New York, these areas that they're looking in. You would have to likely stage it because after 9/11, there have been things put in place to detect stuff like that because it was such a big fear that that was going to be the next escalation from terrorism would be dirty bombs, nuclear, small yield nuclear weapons, things like that. So New York, I'm sure all the major cities have these detection systems in them now that are supposed to pick stuff up like that, or at least kind of be a canary in the coal mine, possibly. So you would have to stage it in an area and then basically bring it in like an hour before you were going to detonate it. That's how it was probably how it would have to be done. So you would have to stage it in one of these small town areas that's around there so that it didn't get detected by those big towns, detection things that they have.
All right, but
yeah, good.
So there's also, besides the drones that have been recorded, because you did mention the one in Temecula.
Yes, and then they're also on the West Coast now too. They've been seen up in the Bay Area, in San Francisco. They've been seen in, I think, Portland and I think Washington State and maybe Seattle type of area. They've been seen now. They're starting to show up on the West Coast. So, again, if they're looking for some shit and they're like, fuck, man, we don't really know what's going on here, then, yeah, you'd want to start looking in all of the major cities to see what you can sniff up and find. If this is a fear that you have, or if you have solid intelligence, and I will say this, they probably wouldn't be doing this if they didn't have at least some solid intelligence that there was a credible threat of this being an issue. Otherwise, they wouldn't, because this is a lot of fucking resources you're putting into play here with all these fucking drones, and like, this is not a super tiny operation. Granted, you can program the drones to do shit, and you only maybe need like 3 or 4 pilots essentially, because you could just program them to do what you want them to do and search the grid patterns that they're searching, and then return home to wherever home is. But
what are the other? All right, so besides the drones that people have shown,
yeah,
there's one that was unlike the other ones that we typically see, right?
Yeah.
I saw a video on some subreddit. I think it was like High Strangeness or whatever it was. All right, so there was this drone. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Atlantis.
Yeah.
Do you remember the rotating like faces?
Right. Yeah.
Like there was a drone that was like it looked like a stake, like a wooden stake. And then there was like these floating pebbles or rocks or whatever, and it was going around in a cylindrical fashion. I'm like, man, how come there's no more footage of that specific one or more of them? But I don't know. I'm kind of hoping we see more freaky cases of other drones that we are atypical of what the ones we've seen, just in case that, man, maybe the aliens are like, if there's fucking aliens, this is a time to fucking blend in with all the
other drones. All the other bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be. I also wouldn't put it past the government to be doing some fuckery where this is all just made up. And now, like in New York, they're going to be the federal government's going to be putting in these huge drone detection systems or some shit now. So like, is this just a way for them to fucking ramp up fucking support to put more surveillance shit in cities? Yeah, maybe like the ones that they want to surveil more. Yeah, this probably is a way to do that.
Well, what are the other theories besides nuclear?
So the theories are
small nuclear devices.
Yeah, the theories are obviously aliens. This is one of them. Okay. The other theories are that this is China or Russia or Iran or a combination thereof of those countries sending these things out to basically, do reconnaissance on our areas, because they have primarily been seen going over infrastructure as well. And that is that does also play into the thing where if they're looking for some shit that maybe like explosives or detecting something, you'd check over fucking areas that would be targets, which a lot of our vital infrastructure is a major concern and a major target. So it makes sense why those things would be doing that in that aspect. But if they were also bad actors, that would also make sense why they were over there as well, because you're gonna just fucking be looking for shit. So, you want to look for targets to hit? Cool. And then again, these drones, some of them have been the size of like large SUVs. So the payload capacity is probably quite large on those things. So if you pop that with something that you can dump, I don't know, a small yield nuclear device on something, if you could, hell, you could fly that thing up and do a little EMP burst and fucking take out electricity, whatever. I mean, there's tons of options of what you could do with all these drones. And then the greatest part is we probably couldn't stop it. We probably don't have enough like resources to shoot these fucking things down if there's so many of them. Some of them are gonna get through. Yeah, some of them probably get shot down, but most of them will probably get through. But I don't think that we would be letting this shit, because it's also very surprising why there's no response from the federal government, why there isn't military combat air patrols up at all times trying to look for these things if it's happening this frequently, or if they just flying 24-hour combat air patrols and just ready to go. So once they get a report of one, bam, we fly over there and shoot this fucker down.
Or the limited coverage, it's mostly been first-person video. And like when it is reported on the news, it's just people
with their cell phone cameras or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is weird why there's a complete lack of response from the federal government, considering how they reacted to the balloon. I mean, the spy balloons, they sent up the U-2 to take pictures of it and interact with it. They sent up, again, the F-22 to go shoot the fucker down. So I would imagine that if this was a foreign adversary or something that we didn't know about, we'd be sending shit to go check it out like that. So,
what's worse though, hearing about the federal government not saying anything specific that we don't know what it is, but we're looking into it, versus we're not sure what's happening right now, but we are on high alert. What do you think plays better to people?
Well, it depends what your goal is. If your goal is to...
Because if you don't want people to panic, I don't even know which one's the one that you would go with.
They're both worse. They're both bad. They're not good moves. The best move would be to just come out and say, who cares if the enemy knows that you're searching for shit? Obviously you don't want them to, but like at this point, whoever has the shit they're looking for, if that's truly what it is, they know that this shit's looking for them. So they're gonna stay low and keep the shit hidden underground or whatever to not put out a signature until the shit goes away. They already tipped their hand by this story getting out of hand. So you might as well just come out and say, we're just doing some training, we're testing these drones to search for something, make it up. That doesn't have to be something that is actually what they're looking for. But I would at least come out and say that. But for some reason, they don't want everybody to fucking know what they're really doing. So, could likely be because it's something nefarious, but I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see what the fuck happens. So, anyways, so that's the update right now. Is that's where they're at, and I'm sure this week we're gonna see a ton more fucking things happening and a ton more of these things continuing to go up.
The best part would be...
God, what if it's like on Christmas or like, oh God, what if it's on New Year's in Times Square? That's where it detonates. And like that'd be like hitting the Super Bowl. Like,
or no, man, they pull a swerve and it's not what anybody believes. Like it's some like supernatural thing. Like it does something that's atypical of the drones that we've seen. And everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, it's not even a bomb or anything. It's just like, oh shit, maybe there are fucking aliens.
Well, also the other theory is the Project Bluebeam, which is the theory that there is a device capable, that we have the projection capability to essentially make these things look like whatever we want. And I mean, they've shown glimpses of this technology, like with that, what do you call it? That one, was it the Game Awards last year or one of those fucking things? They did that thing where they projected it onto like the clouds, and it looked like that it was like a portal opening and there was like skeletons coming through and shit. It was pretty cool, but like, okay, I'm sure that's the civilian version technology. I'm sure that the government version, that's the real shit, like it could make it look real as fuck, and it's probably just images projected with drones or some kind of shit. So maybe that's what it's going to turn into, and it'll be that, and then they'll fake the alien invasion, because that is the other theory, that it's going to be leading to a fake alien disclosure thing just to keep everybody fucking in line or whatever.
So basically the plot of fucking Watchmen.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, basically. So I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But anyways, you got anything else?
No.
All right, that's pretty much the end of it. Go to Game Rage Magazine, Instagram, YouTube, all that.
The truth is out there, man.
Anyways, all guys, no chat for Adam, and that's it. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
was the latest episode of the Central Unintelligence Podcast. Don't forget, subscribe and like on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. We're also on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Also our website, www.GameRageMagazine.com.